Hello and welcome. Today we will be reviewing the best practices in early childhood education pre-kindergarten guide web pages. This is webinar 2 of 2. Our agenda for today is to review current supports and timelines, review background information of this work, review the usability and functionality of the pre-kindergarten guide web pages, review connections to the pre-kindergarten guidelines, and discuss next steps for implementation. Our learning objectives for this webinar are to review current supports and timelines that align to the implementation of the 2022 Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guidelines in the 2023-2024 school year, review key content and best practices in early childhood education pre-kindergarten guides specific to learning environments, explore next steps for technical support with the pre-kindergarten guidelines through the best practices and ECE guides with upcoming webinars and office hours. Supports and timelines. We currently have all pre-kindergarten guideline documents published on our webpage. These include webinar recordings as well as office hour dates that will be scheduled monthly throughout the 23-24 school year. In addition, we have our birth through second grade vertical alignment documents available in all domains within the Educator Resources webpage. Our work currently in progress includes the best practices in early childhood education pre-K, kindergarten, and administrator guides. These include the web pages to support instruction in early childhood programs. You are here attending the second webinar in a two-part series for pre-kindergarten educators. Webinars and office hours will continue to be held with these topics throughout fall 2023. Our upcoming future project includes the pre-K guides that are similar to the TEKS guide on the Texas Gateway platform. This work will begin now through 2023 and 2024. There will be more information to come as we roll out publication of that specific project. Office hours for all of this work will be combined to support the pre-kindergarten guidelines and best practice guides beginning in September 2023. The best practices in ECE guide training rollout. Webinar 1 of 2 focuses on reviewing developmentally appropriate practices, research-based best practices, supporting children with disabilities, and supporting emergent bilingual children. Webinar 2 focuses on learning environments, including classroom organization, physical arrangement, learning centers, outdoor learning environments, activity and lesson planning, and daily schedules. Recorded webinars are available on our ECE Resources webpage. Background information. Parts of the introduction section of the 2015 Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guidelines were taken out in order to provide a condensed format of the 2022 guidelines with a focus on skills and outcomes. The decision was made to compile that content as a separate resource, which we are reviewing today. As we conducted pre-kindergarten guideline focus groups, we found that there was a need from the field to provide more support with best practices, not only in pre-kindergarten, but also in kindergarten, and guidance for administrators who support early childhood educators. As we began to review some of this content, we realized that we needed a more thorough review of current research in the early childhood field, especially since that information was provided back in 2015. We also realized that we needed to have a condensed, user-friendly, and easily accessible format available for educators, which is where we came up with the concept of web pages. Last, we heard a huge need for exemplars in the field to provide more practical application of these best practices. As we look at the best practices pre-kindergarten guide, we see that our purpose is to support educators in providing effective, high-quality instructional practices in early childhood classrooms. The audience for this pre-kindergarten guide are teachers, teachers' assistants, district coaches, site coaches, and any instructional staff that support our pre-kindergarten classrooms. Learning environments. We will be reviewing the resource pages specific to learning environments. Those include physical arrangement, classroom organization and routines, learning centers, outdoor learning environments, activity lesson planning and curriculum implementation, and daily schedules. The physical arrangement of the pre-kindergarten classroom is a vital component in achieving a successful learning environment for young children. One emphasis that we make in this guide page is using the physical space to promote language and literacy. Creating a classroom community that promotes children's language and literacy development requires that print-rich materials be located throughout the classroom. Well-stocked learning centers should be supplied with printed materials such as posters, labels, and fictional and non-fictional books that promote the integration of a multitude of academic concepts. It is also important to represent culturally and linguistically diverse contexts within the physical arrangement and materials. The foundation to a successful learning environment and a priority of the classroom is safety. This means accessibility for all children, especially for those that require physical accommodations. Small and cozy spaces for quiet time support social emotional well-being. Teacher materials should always be locked away from children, such as technology, supplies like adult scissors, and cleaning supplies. Practical management of the classroom includes traffic patterns and furniture that are logical and coordinated arrangement, such as centers that have clear pathways of furniture use, are child size, and accessibility is appropriate at all times. This also ensures that adults can see children at all times. There should be materials that are engaging, support instruction, and are developmentally appropriate. Materials should also represent cultural and linguistic backgrounds. Think of play food representing different cultures, or crayons that represent a variety of skin color. And thinking about storage, using bins to organize materials and are labeled in English or the language of instruction are vital. The main thing with storage is organizing it in a way that makes sense to the children because that promotes responsibility and independence. Last, classroom displays need to be engaging, representative of the children, and useful. Therefore, we want to refrain from displays that are overwhelming and visually distracting. Here is an example of physical arrangement that has clear traffic patterns, is free of clutter, has clear walkways and entrances to areas. Posters are at eye level, items are not cluttered, and there is functional use of the wall space in classroom display. A well-organized classroom with well-prepared activities helps children extend their attention span and build self-control and personal responsibility while supporting children's self-regulation, overall well-being, and receptiveness to learning. What we have highlighted in this guide is focusing on utilizing the classroom for organization and routines such as norms, procedures, labeled objects with print or pictures for identification, charts or visual scaffolds such as the visual daily schedule, attendance charts, helper charts, planning charts, concept charts, or a letter word wall. The physical arrangement of the pre-kindergarten classroom includes learning areas in which children participate in hands-on activities to reinforce already introduced concepts and skills using a wide range of open-ended materials through play. In alignment with developmentally appropriate practices, engagement in learning centers should be freely chosen by the child, uninterrupted, and should include the use of a wide variety of materials to support meaningful learning. Learning centers also provide ample opportunities to learn and engage in skills that align to the Texas pre-kindergarten guidelines. The following listed centers on the slide encourage children to engage in hands-on, open-ended, meaningful experiences that support developmentally appropriate play. Please note that the activities mentioned are suggested and do not include an exhaustive list of materials or activities that can be used in each center. Although learning centers may vary in the title or even the physical placement within the classroom, the goal is to ultimately ensure that the purpose of these free choice areas integrate a variety of different learning concepts, opportunities, and experiences. One concept to consider in the early childhood classroom is cross-area or cross-content play. This includes materials coming together from different areas of the classroom to spark creativity and encourage children's imaginations. In essence, cross-area play is rooted in the idea that children be given the freedom to experiment with materials in open-ended ways. This can support elaborate play schema and developmental learning opportunities. The pre-kindergarten classroom staff have many roles and responsibilities that may vary during specific parts of the school day. During learning centers, the classroom staff have two primary roles that are vital to child development: communicative interactions and safety and supervision. Communicative interactions rely on the adult-child relationship that occurs within the context of language and social experiences. During learning centers, the adult has an active role in maintaining a balance of allowing child-led play, yet also facilitating play experiences that include intentional, rich, positive, language-based interactions. This may look like the adult actively playing with the child, facilitating social interactions between peers, and commenting on the child's play schemes. Communicative interactions during Learning Center play also provides the opportunity for staff to gather pertinent, observable assessment data to add to a child's formative assessment portfolio, such as taking anecdotal notes or language samples. The additional role of the pre-kindergarten classroom staff is to ensure safety and supervision of all children in the classroom. Safety and supervision during Learning Center playtime is crucial to providing a safe environment where children can learn and explore. Learning Center time requires all staff to be vigilant of any physical barriers that prohibit required access to manipulatives, anticipate children's behavior that requires assistance or redirection, be aware of problem-solving challenges that may occur between peer-to-peer interactions, and be actively engaged with children who require additional support, such as social-emotional support, physical development adaptations, or technology assistance. The use of technology has many benefits given that children use it appropriately and educators understand the implication of its use in the classroom. When using technology and media tools appropriately, early childhood educators can use them to enhance without replacing creativity play, exploration, activities, conversations, and social interactions among children in the classroom. Technology best practices include explicitly teaching digital citizenship as set forth by the Texas Prekindergarten Guidelines, using technology for active joint engagement and interactions, such as co-viewing of media, and asking children questions about what they are viewing, playing, or making connections to what they have learned, and setting parameters for screen time based on leading research. Although the use of technology has many benefits of use within academic settings, it is important to note the parameters of overusing technology specifically in early childhood settings. With the common use of technological devices available in our classrooms, it is important to keep in mind that any and all technology use counts as screen time. Outdoor learning environments encourage children to be active participants in a natural setting by engaging in physical activity and learning opportunities in the world around them. This is done through providing children with an outdoor area equipped with natural elements, outdoor materials, and large motor equipment that is age-appropriate, safe, clean, and accessible to all pre-kindergarten children, including students with disabilities. Implementing the Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guidelines using play-based lessons as guided by adopted instructional materials helps build developmental skills and goals that children can achieve in order to demonstrate school readiness for kindergarten and beyond. There is guidance around the concept of exposing children to content multiple times across a variety of contexts and allowing children to practice those skills independently or with guidance. This is solidified with the recommendation of using an approved high-quality instructional material from the Commissioner's list. Establishing an effective pre-kindergarten daily schedule requires planning intentional interactions and integrating a variety of play-based experiences to deepen and extend the learning process. Ensuring the implementation of developmentally appropriate practices ensures that children have sufficient opportunities to practice new skills in a variety of ways and within different settings throughout the classroom. What we include is guidance around daily classroom schedules that support effective pre-K classrooms. These include integrated learning, a balance between teacher-directed and child-driven choice learning experiences, which also includes a balance between rest and movement, a variety of developmentally appropriate hands-on play-based activities, including concrete experiences with using all senses, intentionally designed and interdisciplinary learning center opportunities, and opportunities for relationship building and communicative experiences with peers. Additional guidance around the daily schedule and activities include the fact that it should be referenced throughout the school day and consistently followed. There should be embedded time for transitions and self-help procedures, and daily group activities should include cross-content learning experiences throughout the school day. In addition, we describe the purpose and function of whole group and small group instruction, with whole group being between 15 to 20 minutes of information and community building. For small group instruction, teachers provide a balance of deeper understanding through intentional instruction of concepts, differentiated instruction, and child-led hands-on experiences for a short period of time, such as 10 to 15 minutes. The activities should be engaging and include open-ended conversations, with children taking on an active role using manipulatives, books, and pictures as opposed to worksheets or flashcards. Both whole group and small group instruction support peer-to-peer collaborative and communicative opportunities and essentially work hand in hand in supporting Texas pre-kindergarten guideline skills and outcomes. One other topic we include in the daily schedules page is a note about calendar time in pre-kindergarten classrooms. We know the involvement of calendar time has continued to be a common practice in the pre-K classroom. However, it is important to note of the activities that occur during calendar time. For a child to participate in calendar activities, they must have an understanding that time is sequential and be able to conceptualize past and future events as per Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guideline Pre-K 4 783. If we think about the child development of our Pre-K 3 and Pre-K 4 students, they may not have the ability to judge the length of time across days, weeks, or months. What children are able to comprehend is the ability to understand time as it occurs within the immediate school day, as demonstrated through the review of the daily schedule or per Texas Pre-Kindergarten Guideline Pre-K 3 and Pre-K 4 5D4. In addition, calendar time can be used to support concrete mathematical skills such as number recognition, one-to-one correspondence, row counting, and patterning. If you have any specific questions, you are encouraged to use our ECE support portal using the QR code provided on the slide. As we come to the end of this webinar, we would like to thank you for attending, and we ask for your participation in completing our survey through the QR code in order to serve and support you better with implementation of the pre-kindergarten guidelines and the best practices in ECE guides.